this is Jam of JamOnline.ph, and today we're gonna unbox and take a closer look on this smartphone, the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. I know the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max has been announced a few months ago during the Zenvolution Philippines, and this was first seen at ASUS Zenvolution in Vietnam, but it was also announced in Zenvolution Philippines, and fortunately we were one of the few lucky people who were able to get a hands-on of this one, the Zenfone 3 Max. So what's the difference between the previous Zenfone 3 Max and the Zenfone Max? So the Zenfone 3 Max does have a smaller battery actually, which is 4,100 mAh of battery, but I'm pretty sure that this one could last more than a day, probably more than 2 days if you're a casual user. And since we have a smaller battery, well, one of the reasons probably why we have a smaller battery on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is its smaller display. So this one comes in 5.2-inch display. I mean, it's not that bad. 5.2 inch is just fine with me. It's like the S7, the LG G5, I believe it's 5.2. So I believe 5.2 is already enough for some people. So there's 3 gigs of RAM, and this one has a I haven't tried this one yet. It comes with a MediaTek MT6737 processor. I know it's kind of new, but I mean, it's new, and I'm really excited for this one, and it's using MediaTek, not the Qualcomm processor, an Intel processor that we have used to on an Intel smartphone. So I believe this is the first MediaTek smartphone, the Zenfone 3 series. We have the Zenfone Go that comes with MediaTek, the Zenfone 2, Zenfone Go, the first Zenfone Go comes in MediaTek processor, but this one is the first one in the series that comes with MediaTek processor. So another thing, so this comes with a 32 gigs of sorry, that's not RAM, 32 gigs of storage, and then of course you could add a micro SD on this one. There's a non-removable back because this one has a premium aluminum body. That's my favorite feature of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. I've tried it before, even before the Zenvolution Philippine launch, and I'm really impressed with its body. Later on we're gonna talk about its body. And this one comes with 13 megapixel rear camera and 5 megapixel front camera, and unfortunately we have lost the laser autofocus on the 5.2-inch version. The Zenfone Max has that one. So basically Zenfone Max has a bigger battery, a longer battery life probably, and then this one, but another thing is we lost the laser autofocus, but don't worry, I mean, I've tried this one for a bit, and the laser autofocus isn't that, well, the lack of a laser autofocus isn't that a deal breaker for me. I'm gonna tell that on my review why I still like the Zenfone 3 Max. Oops, I said it already. Anyway, this is the Zenfone 3 Max, so let's unbox and let's take a closer look on this smartphone. Alright guys, so we have here the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So this one is now available for $8,995, and this one is really interesting. You know why? Because aside from this one is really affordable, it now comes with a premium body. Well, I know it has a smaller battery and it lacks the laser autofocus, but I mean, hey, we got a premium body right now, and then a smaller body. It's compact, and I'll tell you why I like the Zenfone 3 Max despite its some of the features that were trimmed down from the ASUS Zenfone Max. So let's unbox this one. So again, this one comes in with a 5.2-inch HD IPS display. It's not 5.5 compared to the Zenfone Max. So we have here the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. I've actually opened this one before, so I'll have to re-unbox it again for you guys. Alright, so aside from that one, so we also have here the manual, of course, the user guide, there we go, then the warranty card, whatever that is. So we also have here a charger. So this one isn't a fast charger, but this one comes with 5 volts, 2 amperes battery charger. So it's not fast charging. We have an MediaTek processor, but we don't have the Qualcomm technology. So we also have here the earbuds for the earphones, which is an in-ear phones, by the way. It's not Zen Ear, but still it will do. Alright, so aside from that one, we also have here USB to micro USB cable. By the way, it's micro USB. It's not using USB Type-C yet compared to the ASUS Zenfone 3. So this one is still micro USB. And then of course we have here the pin. I'm not gonna remove that one, but we have the pin in here. So let's put aside the box and let's take a closer look on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Alright guys, so we have here the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So before we talk about the design, so let's talk about the software first. Actually, it's very similar to the ASUS Zenfone 3. So we have the Zen UI 3.0 on this smartphone, and it comes with a lot of new features including Game Genie. Yes, you could now record your games or whatever that you want. I'm gonna show that to you. So oh wait, so as you can see, I've opened SimCity even though my Wi-Fi is not yet on. So by the way, the Zenfone 3 Max comes with SimCity built-in and also Need for Speed No Limits. It's a quite good game. Both games are good, and with SimCity, I believe it comes with a freebie if you play SimCity on the Zenfone 3 Max. Anyway, Game Genie lets you record and also stream your games on YouTube or on Twitch. That's a quiet, well, it's really rare to see a feature on a smartphone like this. I mean, that's a quite good feature. So anyway, as you could see, you're already seeing the gameplay performance of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, and it's quite fast. I mean, it's not really the best processor. We don't have the best RAM in it. It's 3 gigs, but it will do. As you could see with SimCity built-in, we don't have lags, and it's really playable. This one has a 3D objects and 3D rendering. It's not that heavy. I mean, it can do games, and it lasts really long, well, according to ASUS. But in my use, I've already used this one, and I'm actually quite impressed with this one, with the Zenfone 3 Max. Anyway, you've seen the Game Genie, so let's talk about the other features. I mean, we already have the other applications that I've installed in this one, including Microsoft Office. Anyway, the Zen UI 3.0 is faster. It's better than the Zen UI 2.0, and so far in my use, it's more than a week, I have not experienced any lags on this one. Although it's MediaTek, yes, but it doesn't get any hotter than I expect. I mean, I expect this smartphone to be hotter than I expected, but it's not. It's not really hot despite using a MediaTek processor. Anyway, that's it for the Zen UI 3.0. We don't have to dwell on that one that much. We don't have to dwell on the Zen UI that much because it's very similar to the Zen UI 3.0 on the Zenfone 3. So let's talk about the design of the Zenfone 3 Max. As you could see, we have some reflections here. You see the line here, because this one comes in a 2.5D glass. That's why it's quite sexier compared to the Zenfone 2, the Zenfone Max. I'm sorry, it's sexier than the Zenfone Max. And again, despite having a large battery, it's 4,100 milliamps of battery on a 5.2-inch display, and despite having that amount of battery, this one isn't that thick. It's very handy. The ergonomics is quite good thanks to its curves. The curves are really good, and then we now have a premium metal design. I know it's not similar to the Zenfone 3's glass back, but this one is metal, and I really like the feel of the metal of the Zenfone 3 Max. It's actually similar to other smartphones with a metal body, but this one is I don't know. It's just that it has a large battery, and I didn't expect that this one would be handy. And then we have a premium body. The lines, look at that one. The lines are sexy. The additional lines are additional, sexy thing about this smartphone. Additional sexy thing about this smartphone. Anyway, at the back we got the fingerprint sensor. It comes with a rectangular fingerprint sensor. We have the LED flash. The camera is not protruding, thank God, but we don't have the laser autofocus anymore. But I believe the Zenfone 3 Max 5.5, which was quietly unveiled on their website, comes with a laser autofocus and capacitive buttons. Again, we don't have the capacitive buttons here, just the ASUS logo and an on-screen Android buttons. But so far, I quite like the design and the feel of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. And then we don't have a removable back, so the battery is not removable. And then you could put the SIM card in here. It's a dual SIM card slot, and you could also put your micro SD card on the SIM card 2 slot. So below you could see the microphone pinhole, and then the micro USB. It's still using micro USB, not USB Type C. And then we have the 3.5mm audio jack. So I believe you've seen the Zenfone 3 Max. So why do I like it? I've told you before why I like the Zenfone 3 Max over the Zenfone 2. Well, I'm going to show you the Zenfone 2. So this is the Zenfone 2. So it's bigger, yes, I know, but it's actually thicker. As you could see, the thickness of the Zenfone 3 Max is really, I mean, look at that, the difference. It's no amount of words can describe how good the Zenfone 3 Max is right now compared to the Zenfone 2. Zenfone Max, no, just kidding. Anyway, the Zenfone Max is thicker compared to the Zenfone 3 Max. This one is thinner, it's handier, the ergonomics is quite good, and the 5.2 inch is just the perfect size for me. I believe 4100 mAh of battery is still bigger, it's still big despite having this one. The Zenfone Max, by the way, has a 5000 mAh. This one is at 4100, but I believe the 4100 mAh of battery is still enough, more than enough for most people. And by the way, before I forgot, the Zenfone 3 Max can actually charge your smartphone. All you need is an OTG. Put your OTG in here, and then charge. Just plug in your smartphone to the OTG of the Zenfone 3 Max, and yes, you could charge your smartphone using another smartphone. That's a quite handy feature, and I believe if you have a high-end Zenfone 3 Deluxe or whatever high-end smartphone that you have, the Zenfone 3 Max is a perfect companion. Sorry. As this one is can be used as a power bank. Actually, the Zenfone Max can do that one too, but since we're getting a better one, this one is better actually because of its performance. We have 3 gigs of RAM compared to the Snapdragon 410, and this one, although this one has a new MediaTek processor, which is quite new to me, but actually, just a short preview on that, sneak peek for you guys. I've actually was able to run NBA 2K17 on the lowest settings. It's playable, it's quite good, and I'm gonna post that on my review. Once my review of the Zenfone 3 Max is up, you will know how good the Zenfone 3 Max is. I'm actually, I'm not biased here, but I actually like the Zenfone 3 Max because I'm a big fan of smartphones with big batteries and quite thin body for its battery size. So yeah, I believe that's it for a short hands-on of the Zenfone 3 Max. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, well, now's the time to subscribe. So once again, I'm Jam of JamOnline.ph, and don't forget to follow our social media accounts, our Facebook at facebook.com/jamonline.blog, my Instagram and my Twitter at JamManchetta. Don't forget those things. So yeah, see you guys again on my next video.